Welcome to Rad, a daily reader for Reddit. Like and subscribe for daily Reddit videos. I highly respect millennials that walk out of jobs or any inconvenience in life. As a man in my late 50s, I wish I had the balls to walk off a job when I was younger. After starting my own business and spending years in upper management, I have to say I love millennials and think they will change the workplace for the better. Seeing a 22 college grad say that's not my job and not in my job description always gave me envy. Boner. Watching a middle manager retort with "if you don't like the job, leave," and having a millennial fire back "I'll send out 100 apps on Indeed tonight and have a new one tomorrow, bye." Wanna know what that makes me do? Think hard about how my employees are treated and how well they are paid, because in today's day and age my job is just as replaceable as they are. Keep ghosting and walking away, my young friends, I get it. Millennial here. I was the most loyal, hard-working employee. I'd go above and beyond. Work sick, tired, underpaid. I was just taken advantage of. Looking back, I wasted my time slaving for employers that never cared about my hard work. They were just making a ton of money off a guy willing to do 3 people's jobs. I'm 30 now. I'm exactly like Op's description. I just wish my body wasn't beat up now. I started cooking at 18 and dropped out of film school to pursue a culinary career. Which, looking back, wasn't a bad call. But now that I'm into my 30s, I can see now that what I saw as me being a rock star and achieving my first head chef position at 23 was really just my bosses taking the opportunity to underpay their best employee, and found out later that my GM was soaking a bonus for cooking the books as company-wide every store was leaking money like a sieve. I ended up quitting only a few months before the entire company went under and the managers were getting fired left and right. Working at a job, all you hear is good workers are so hard to find, but when you pay minimum wage in an era where minimum wage is only a third of a livable wage, you fundamentally hamstring your business by refusing to keep good workers. Employers want an employee with 20 years experience doing the job of their bosses, willing to take the pay of a 15-year-old with a parent's note and either nothing in their lives. That could get in the way of working 70-hour weeks, or part-time employees that can work 1 5-hour shift a week on call that can't have another job that might interfere with that random phone call. Millennials have adopted a spectacularly freaked up world, and our representation in the news is always some utter dog shit about how we're eating too many avocados and don't have woodworking shops in our one-room apartments. People clutch their pearls when we say, "frick it, burn it all down," without realizing we don't care because none of it is ours. At my first job out of college, I was totally overworked, and when I finally quit after the first year, they replaced my position with 4 people. It gave me some satisfaction knowing that I was actually doing a good job and that my boss was terrible. Frick, you just described me too. I'm 29 and spent my 20s being the go-to guy to get stuff done. Thank God I have the job I do now, but I absolutely regret busting my butt like I did from ages 16 to 27. Whenever I have kids, I will teach them the opposite of what I did. There's a difference from being a hard worker and being taken advantage of. I think this should be a more appreciated thing. Humans shouldn't be strong-armed into staying at a job or in a relationship that doesn't benefit them. I'm facing an issue now with my work who is planning on moving me into a position I didn't apply for, and that I don't have the certifications for, just because they think I'm a good worker. Very agreeable, and I will figure it out. Sorry, no, that's not okay with me. The position will make me unhappy. If I am unhappy, I will leave without hesitation because I know I can find a job elsewhere with my experience and work ethic. I have no loyalty to a job that has no loyalty to me. I refuse to waste my time being unhappy at a job. I did that for 15 years. I approach relationships the same way. I see so many friends in unhappy relationships and I don't get why they don't just leave. It's very cut and dry for me. Happiness is my ultimate choice. It's pretty simple really. Many people aren't marketable in terms of work or dating. They cling on to whatever they can find because they don't want to risk not being able to find another decent job or partner, which is absolutely a possibility. Is having nothing better than having something that kind of sucks but kind of works for you. I'm 28 and remember being nervous about making even slight mistakes in my first job and early in my second. By the time I started at my current one as a warehouse operative, I was fully aware of being able to do this. I bumped heads with everyone from team leaders and managers in my first few months and was threatened with disciplinary action on 2 occasions when they had no real basis to do so, since they were asking me to do things that simply weren't my job. First time I just shrugged and told them that was fine, so go ahead. Second, I told them I'd walk at the first sign of disciplinary. Funny enough, I'm now a warehouse supervisor and work on logistics. No disciplinary on my record. I worked in a warehouse where they had me working 65 to 70 hours weeks. I finally said something to the supervisor and asked why other employees aren't being pressured to do the same. He said something like, "This person has a kid he has to take care of. Single dad. This person has a medical condition," and so on. Basically implying that I have no life, so the pressure was put on me. I freaked out and said I was hired for 40 hours and I'm going to work 40 hours. Suddenly a week later, everyone was on mandatory 50 hours a week and people treated me like crap for it. I finally got promoted into a desk job for quality and people suddenly respected me again. Yeah, that place was crazy and I'm glad I don't work in logistics anymore. Ah yes, the good old "they have a kid" or "they have a family" excuse. My mom raised me alone, while working a full-time career as a lab manager for cancer research. I'm sick of the excuses from bum-butt parents. Last restaurant I worked at, I shared oven duties with a fellow cook who never had to work Fridays, Saturdays, or Sundays. Every week I was busting my butt, 55 to 60 hours, and my only days off were trash like Monday, Wednesday. This was bullcrap because it meant I was flying solo on the busiest nights, so this butthole only has to cover me on Mondays, Wednesday. Arguably some of the easiest days to work in a restaurant unless you have some crazy midweek specials. While I'm working 14-hour shifts on Fridays with a single 10 minutes break, I went to my boss, fellow co-workers, etc., and I asked him, why does he get those days off every week, but I have to bust my butt alone on the busiest days of the week and pull more hours than him? Their excuse: he has a kid. Every other week he gets his daughter for 2 days on the weekend. So I ask, then why not have the weekend on rotation, so we both get our fair share of weekends off? They pretty much blew me off and started telling me some sob story. This dude wasn't some hero dad. He is a pothead bum who drinks every day of the week, which is why his ex has custody of their kid the majority of the time. Our boss nearly fired him for showing up to work high all the time, but he would never follow through because of how desperate he was for experienced cooks. Too bad for him because I quit. Now that butthole has to work weekends because I'm not there anymore to cover for him. I kind of agree in a way. I do think there are a lot of workplaces in which employees are treated poorly, pushed beyond what their contract tasks, etc., and we are conditioned to think that is okay. That, oh well, we just deal with it. Others have it worse. Sometimes the only recourse is to take a stand against what you feel is not right for you. That being said, I have known people who walked out of literally every job for the slightest thing that annoys them, begging the question, what do they actually want out of a job? As a man in my 30s, I admire it too. I wish I had done it more. Never settle. If it doesn't feel right, if it doesn't feel good, get the frick out of it. You only have one existence to live, and that existence belongs to you. Your 20s goes by fast and before you know it you are 30. And then 40. And things aren't physically and mentally as easy to do anymore. Health issues start up. Your chances to have a family of your own disappear slowly and you wake up one day realizing you've been cooked by your bosses and employers who used you like a worthless wage slave to fund a life and family of their own while you're nothing but an old decrepit single piece of crap with only yourself left in this world. People love to say, sometimes you need to deal with difficult people in your life. You know, when you complain about a bully, whether they're an abusive jerk in your family or somebody at work or something, but the fact is, you don't have to put up with anyone once you're 18. You don't need to put up with anyone. You can just cut people off and stop talking to them, and you can quit jobs. Heck, you can leave everything behind if you want. Just go pick a direction. Hop a plane or start driving and just leave. The consequences might suck, but it can be done. The only exception is if you have children, of course. Once you have kids, your options get a little less, especially since you need money for them and stuff, but still you have ways. You still aren't stuck in a crap job or anything. At the end of the day, my mental health is more important than my bank balance. Thanks for watching Rad. Like and subscribe for daily Reddit videos. If you like these videos, check out Rad too.